This is WFYI News Now. It's September 3rd, and sitting in for Aubriana Herron, I'm Zach Bundy. On today's show, a new effort around public art in Indianapolis. A nonprofit works to figure out how to improve teacher retention in Marion County. And Indiana students and educators are learning and teaching under a new law that restricts the use of cell phones in schools.
It makes my job easier to know that the law is behind me.
Those stories coming up. But first, revitalization projects on Indianapolis's Old Southside are bringing life back into the historic neighborhood. WFYI's Samantha Horton reports.
In the 1940s, the Old Southside was a lively neighborhood, home to Jewish immigrants and Black residents, one of the few racially integrated communities in the city at the time. A new development called the Rise on Meridian aims to help revive the area that was in need of investment. The new multi-use building features apartments, a community meeting space, and an art installation remembering the history of the neighborhood. IU Indianapolis anthropology professor Susan Hyatt says she hopes the installation can provide residents with a blueprint for the future of the area.
A place where people will continue to cooperate across social boundaries, working together toward the goal of reviving and sustaining a vibrant and diverse part of our city of which we can all be proud.
Other infrastructure investments being made in the historic neighborhood include stormwater and drainage improvements, upgraded sidewalks, crosswalks, and additional bus stops. I'm Samantha Horton.
A new creative effort will influence how public art can help craft the Indianapolis of tomorrow. WFYI's Jill Sheridan reports on the Monumental Gestures initiative.
The partnership includes public and private organizations to help plan potential monumental art projects in Indy. Managing Director Richard McCoy says there's a lot of opportunity in the city right now.
What we want to do is to be a part of a new movement in Indianapolis to create meaningful art experiences in every real estate development that happens downtown and every project that happens.
Two key partners are the Cultural Trail and Visit Indy. Artistic Director Sarah Neal-Estes says they will work to envision pieces that are iconic and intentional.
Bringing in talent from far and wide and locally to help make bigger, better, more impactful, more rigorous art happen here.
The group will work alongside the community to identify free, inclusive, accessible art opportunities in key public spaces. I'm Jill Sheridan.
Teachers across the state have been leaving the field for years. That can make it hard to fill open positions in schools. Local nonprofit Rise Indy surveyed Marion County teachers to learn more about how to improve retention. From WFYI's Education Desk, Sydney Dauphiné has more.
The nonprofit surveyed over 500 teachers from district-run schools, charter schools, and innovation schools in Marion County. The findings: over 70% of respondents said they feel society doesn't respect their profession. Rise CEO and founder Jasmine Shahid Young says that's a problem.
All kids need to have teachers that feel like they're valued. They have to have teachers that feel like that they're paid a livable wage, as well as have benefits and mentorship.
Teachers also said they wish there were more policies that helped protect and support them at school. Many teachers, especially younger teachers, also believe they're underpaid. The negative perception of pay was found to be more acute at district-managed schools than other types of schools. I'm Sydney Dauphiné.
And for our final story today, as the school year gets underway, Indiana students and educators are learning and teaching under a new law that restricts the use of cell phones in schools. From WFYI's Education Desk, Lee Gaines spoke with some teachers who are pleased with these new rules, and some students with mixed feelings.
Indiana's new law bans the use of cell phones and other devices during instructional time.
I'm overall very happy about it.
That's Lawrence North High School math teacher Jenny Guimont.
It makes my job easier to know that the law is behind me.
But not all students are pleased with the new law. Grace Wingfield, a senior at Beech Grove High School, used to listen to music on her phone to stay focused during quiet work time at school. Without it, she's struggling to concentrate.
I think that's probably the hardest part for me of this whole phone rule, just not having music.
Last fall, nearly 3/4 of U.S. high school teachers said cell phones were a major problem in classrooms, according to a study by Pew Research Center. I'm Lee Gaines.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin. with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes, Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Zach Bundy, sitting in for Aubriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.